This is a stop-motion armature I made for a tortoise character. It was quite a challenging commission, mainly due to the very weird tortoise anatomy and because of the requirement that it should indeed be able to retract its legs and head into the shell. My first thought was, okay, let's put some rails inside so the legs and head could slide in and out, but of course that's not how real tortoises work, and it seemed better to stick to a more naturalistic approach. I didn't know much about the anatomy beforehand, so I first researched some pictures of skeletons and then came across this super helpful 3D scan, which I used as my main reference eventually. So let's have a look. The spine runs along their top shell, the carapace, and the shell itself is basically their rib cage. Then there are these enormous collarbones, which go down from the spine to their equivalent of shoulder blades, from which the front legs extend outwards. Similarly, they have sort of a hip which tilts to extend and retract the shorter hind legs. It's super fascinating to me that even something so different from us as a tortoise is still made up of the same kind of parts basically. Either way, turning that into a viable armature design was still challenging and required some careful planning. I started the design with a metal bar to act as spine, featuring joint sockets for all 4 legs and hinges for head and tail. When playing around with the proportions, it became clear that the best position for the neck hinge would be right between the front shoulders, which made it a bit difficult. Eventually it worked by inserting a ground pin to act as axis, while clamping it with this screw located on the side on the outer edge of the spine. The legs are then simply made from ball and socket joints, while the feet just end in a blunt joint block. Tortoises kind of walk on their toenails, not making flat contact with the ground, and this character will have a crochet skin eventually, so the feet will be tied down with little hooks or velcro directly on their skin. No machined tie-downs needed apparently. The head has a movable jaw for eating and maybe talking, while the tail is just a little wire loop. To shape its shell, I resorted to 3D printing for the carapace and plastron. The top half is removable and attached with magnets to this locating plate on its spine. This allows the animator to reach inside the puppet to carefully maneuver the legs and head inside when it extends or retracts its limbs. These parts are 3D printed nylon, which is quite tough, and I added these extra dimples and holes to allow for a good connection with the layer of sculpting clay, which will be put on top to give it its final shape. I really love challenging projects like this one, and I can't wait to see the finished character in motion eventually. Please reach out if you ever need a stop-motion armature with some unique requirements. I'd love to get a few more commissions like this. And if you're interested, please check out the link in the video description for more details.